So I have students saying their other accounts are allowing them in, but the North Tech email is not. So whatever that means. So I have students saying their other accounts are allowing them in, but the North Tech email is not.
And Mr. Adams, I'm just going to throw out that we are live, just so you are aware, okay?
So I have students saying their other accounts are allowing them in, but the North Tech email is not.
What have you been up to, Pat?
Who's that?
It's Craig.
Oh, just working around the school and getting everything organized and doing some small contracting. That's about it. Just taking it easy. Yep. Just trying to stay busy, stay safe, stay healthy, you know.
Yeah. It's closing in on us all, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're shut down till the end of the month. Had several incidents here, so we decided to let the place cool down for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we will get started in just a minute. Does somebody have a watch on them? Can they let me know right when it's 2 o'clock?
Yeah, about 1 minute.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. What's up, Jeff?
Nothing. How's everybody doing?
Matt, are we at 2 o'clock? Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tech Tuesday. We're thrilled that you're joining us today to learn about 3 local construction apprenticeship training programs. Joining us today, we have Craig Hood from the St. Louis Carpenters Joint Apprenticeship Program. We have Ronnie Gillespie from the Laborers International Union of North America, who will be telling us about the Construction Craft Laborers Apprenticeship Program. And we have Ed Hoganson from the Sheet Metal Workers, Local 36. Before we start, I want to share that each of our guests has made immeasurable contributions to North and South Tech over the last many years. We have reached out to them and their colleagues often with many different types of requests, and they are always willing to help support us in our work with students. And we are very grateful to each of them. They're here today to tell us a bit about the work that their union does, what their apprenticeship training program involves, and how people who are interested can apply to those programs. Before we get started, though, we have several people from Special School District joining us, and I'd like for them to introduce themselves. Mr. Adams, could we start with you?
Yes, Mr. Adams, North County Tech HVAC instructor. Been working with Ed Hoganson for, 4 years now. Great opportunity for you guys, an amazing career. Seriously, consider the career as a long-term investment into your life. The amount of training and everything that they offer there. So good luck, guys.
Mr. Westhoff?
Hi, I'm Matt Westhoff. I'm the carpentry instructor at South Tech.
Okay. Mr. Lane?
Yes, I am my name is Byron Lane. I'm the carpentry instructor at North Tech High School. I've been part of the Carpenters Union. I started off working there right out of high school. I have my journeyman certification, so I know quite a bit about the journeyman school. Look forward to, we've always enjoyed working with them and look forward to getting you out there working with them.
Thank you. Ms. Bengelli?
My name's Heidi Bengelli, and I'm a technology specialist instructor at both North and South Technical High Schools.
Okay. Mr. Beck?
How you guys doing? Nick Beck here. I'm the South Tech HVAC instructor, and like Matt said, been working with Mr. Hogeson and Local 36 for quite a while now, and they really do bring some great opportunities to you guys. And thank you for the students for being here, and thank you for everyone else for taking your time out of your day and being here for us.
Mr. Hannikin?
I'm Pat Hannikin, North Tech Construction Trades instructor. I've been working with the Carpenters Union, laborers, plumbers, pipe fitters, electrical, all of them. We do a large variety of different trades in the construction trades. Had the honor of working with all these unions to help get the young individuals into good careers with a good future, and looking forward to keep moving forward with it.
Thank you. Mr. Chandler?
Hey, I'm Jeff Chandler, career counselor at South Technical High School. Thanks for everybody for being here.
And I am Sally Defani, Administrator of Partnerships for Special School District. We have great student participation, it looks like, so I really hope the students participating come up with a lot of really great questions to ask our guests. And as you come up with a question, please just type it into the chat on YouTube. We will monitor those questions and ask them after each guest has finished with his presentation. Okay, we're going to start with Craig Hood with the Carpenters.
Hi, everybody. I'm the coordinator here at the Carpenters and Millwright and Cabinet Makers program here in Afton, Missouri. Been a carpenter for many years in the trade, and it led me to teaching, which led me to being involved here now most recently as the coordinator. But so just to share a little bit about the trade, the union, and how this whole thing works. It's kind of a four-legged stool that you all get involved with when you get into an apprenticeship program, depending no matter what trade you get into. In our case, it takes a contractor to hire you. A contractor hiring you gets you what you're looking for with a letter of intent. That gets you into the apprenticeship program. Apprenticeship programs then are affiliated with unions typically. So in our case, carpenter apprentices that get hired by contractors, they join the Carpenters Union. So the Carpenters Union, they're the folks that represent the tradespeople out there. They're the ones that negotiate our wages and our benefits and our working conditions. And that's something that you'll be part of. As the training center end of it, though, we're all about the training of the trade. So we're a different leg of that stool, for no better words. And then the contractors themselves, they're employers. They're just like any employer you may ever work for. They hire you, they can fire you, they pay you. They're your employer. And then really the fourth leg of the stool that a lot of people don't realize is the Department of Labor, because all of us here today are associated with registered apprenticeship programs with the Department of Labor. So the good news is in all of these trades, they're all careers. No matter what you pick, you can make a career out of this. I can't tell you how many times over the years guys have come and said, man, I wish I'd have got in this earlier. I wish I'd have joined this sooner. So you folks out there that are getting ready to finish from these programs, you're really who these contractors are looking for, because you're doing stuff above and beyond what other high school students are doing. You're in programs that are giving you some insight to these trades. So you're coming out better equipped right out of the gate. and they are looking for people like you. Again, good news is the residential industry has just been going crazy this summer. They are going crazy right now. Um, you know, no matter who I talk to, no matter where I go all over. I ask people, what do carpenters do? And the common answers are, well, you build houses, you work with wood, and you swing hammers. And you know, that's true. We're very lucky in this area to say that. Other parts of the country don't have much. There's residential going on, but they're not affiliated with unions and apprenticeships typically. In this area here in our region, most of the lion's share is done with union contractors that are affiliated with unions. So residential right now is probably where most of the hiring's happening at. And under residential, there's kind of like 5 disciplines that you could get hired at. Somebody has to put the foundations in that these homes and apartments and condos set on. So the concrete foundations is some of the work that some contractors do exclusively. You may only put the foundations in from one house to the next, have nothing to do with the framing or the siding. And then where most of the guys get hired in residential is the framing aspect. It takes a lot of guys, typically more guys, to frame a house, and longer amounts of time, more days involved to frame a house. So most guys get hired to frame or then either side. Once the house is framed, and let me share this picture here if I can here. Let's see here. Oh, I lost everything here. That's okay. All right, can you still see me? Okay, so most of the guys get hired to frame, but then the second highest thing that people do get hired for is to put the siding on the exterior of the houses. And then thirdly would probably be to install the drywall in the houses. And lastly, maybe to trim the houses. So them are kind of the 5 disciplines that contractors hire for in the residential market. So residential is right now really carrying our industry. There is commercial work out there. There are commercial contractors all over the place, but they're kind of hot and cold. They're kind of spotty right now. There's some big projects coming up on the books. The new NGA site that is literally just north of downtown. I've read that when that thing is really going, they're going to have in the neighborhood of 1,500 construction workers on that site a day. So many of which will be carpenters and sheet metal workers and the like. So there's all kinds of opportunities out there. What it takes to get into our program is what we call a letter of intent. And that's simply just something on a contractor's letterhead stating that they want to hire you as a carpenter apprentice or a millwright apprentice or a cabinet maker apprentice. But it's just something on their letterhead saying that they want to start you out as an apprentice. You bring that to the Carpenters Hall at 1401 Hampton, or they can send it in and you don't have to carry it in. They can send it electronically, show up there. They'll drug test you, and that's really a very simple process to get you started. What we do now, you know, apprenticeship in general is a combination of on-the-job training and formal training, which takes place at our training facilities. Most of your time is spent out on the job site. What we have went to as of May this year is a 4-day training format. For years, we did a week at a time, Monday through Friday from 7 to 3:30, a 40-hour week, and you would come in and do that with us 4 times a year. So if you hung out with us for 4 weeks out of the course of the year, you could say 1 month out of 12 months was formal training at the apprenticeship program, and 11 months out of the year working in the field as an apprentice. So that's kind of how apprenticeship works. It's a combination of both. We recently went to a 4-day format. We're now doing 4 nines. We're doing Tuesdays through Fridays from 6:30 to 4 o'clock. So we're doing 36 hours a week now instead of 40 hours a week. And what that has done is it's got the apprentices back on the job site for 1 day more a week. Instead of having to go to school for 5 days, they now have to go to school for 4 days, and they get to work another day. So that's something that's new to our program this year, and seems to be working very well and recepted well by everybody. But the training, when you come in here, as with all the programs, it's virtually free. We're not going to be holding a hand out asking for tuition or anything like that. The contractors make contributions to pay for this, and members' dues help pay for this training. It costs money, but it don't cost you virtually any money to get into an apprenticeship. One of the beauties of apprenticeships and trades. Once you got a trade under your belt, nobody can take that away from you. When you can do something with your hands, there's typically chances for you to work. A lot of people can't do that, and they're calling on people that can, and they're willing to pay you to do that. So once you got a trade from North Tech or South Tech or from an apprenticeship program, but once you got a trade, nobody can take that away from you. And if all else fails, you can probably provide for yourself. So the trades are outstanding ways to make a living. And if you're not afraid of hard work, working outside, working in the cold, working in the heat, working at times height-wise, this is a real career for you. It is very rewarding. It's very common for tradespeople to go down the street with their family and say, hey, I worked on that right there. I worked on that. And they get tired of hearing it, but you're proud that you were associated with that. It's a type of job that it's instant gratification. If my boss asked me today, what'd you do today? I could say, well, I had a pretty good day. I got on a virtual conference, and I think it went really good, but I got nothing to show for that, really. Whereas if you're a tradesperson, at the end of the day, and the boss asks you, what'd you get done today? You're going to be able to turn around and point to something. It's very tangible. It's evident. We get paid to build stuff. So if you like doing that kind of thing, there's great careers out there. We don't care which direction you go. I always had a love for operating equipment. I still would love to do that. I wish sometimes I'd have done that, but the carpenter's trade has been very good to me. But the point is, there's lots of trades out there. So research that and figure out what it is. I'll tell you another nice thing about apprenticeship programs and the trades is it's not going to take a lot of time and a lot of money if you try this and you find out you don't like it. You can walk away from it without having a lot invested in it. I can't tell you again how many people come in our doors and start as new apprentices that got bachelor's degrees and higher, and they've spent 4 years out there and a lot of money only to turn around and get into the trades. Well, you're not going to have any debt. You're going to be making money as soon as you start working on the job site. And if it ain't a good fit for you, you're not going to be out a lot of time and a lot of money, and you can go on and do something else. Along them lines, if you wanted to use this as a stepping stone to get to further your education, we have articulation agreements with almost all of the community colleges in the area, virtually about 5 classes, and you can get an associate degree for having gone through the apprenticeship program and doing this. So again, lots of opportunities. We're here to help you. I do hope I can share this screen. One of you people may need to help me out here because I have lost, let's see here. I need to get my whole screen bigger.
So if you go in the top right-hand corner of your screen,
yeah,
you might see the it's like a little square. If you click on that, it should make your whole screen bigger so you can get to your tools bar at the bottom.
I see you, Heidi, but I just see a little bitty screen there.
Okay.
Let's
So look at the,
minimize.
yeah, look
I
at the
see you
very,
now. I
okay,
got
cool.
you. All right, so let me share this with you guys real quickly. Sorry, this virtual stuff, it's hard on a carpenter now to get this stuff down now.
You're
I'm just
doing
telling
great.
you. This is difficult for us. You got to put that board in our hands and let us flip it around a little bit for us to understand it. So let me find this slide for you, and I'll let one of these other important people talk to you. So can you, let's see here. Can you all see this screen?
we
It
can.
says if
Yes.
interested.
Mhm.
So there's your takeaway right there, guys and gals out there. If you're interested, you need to go to our website. It's listed there, carpdc.org. Then you want to go to the careers tab. Then you want to go to prospective members. And then you want to go to join now. When you click on that, you're going to fill out a few questions, just some demographics, and somebody from the program and or the union is going to be giving you a call, and they're going to find out exactly what you want to do and give you an idea how to go about it to get you started. So this is your first step right here. Just go to the website, fill out the application. It's free. It don't cost anything. And one of us will be contacting you. So again, good news is there's lots of opportunities out there. I think it's going to continue. All the trades are good. Pick one and go after it. And good luck to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Craig. That's great. It looks like we have a couple questions coming into the chat. If you don't mind, one student is asking if you can share a bit of information about starting wages.
I sure can. Starting wages for residential, where most of the opportunities are right now, is exactly half of what journeymen make. So a residential apprentice starting out is going to make $15.28 an hour. That's what you're going to see on your check. Now that does not include benefits. When you tack on the benefits, the total package for a residential first term apprentice is going to be 25.02 an hour. So what you're going to see on your check is $15.28 an hour. If you would get hired by a commercial contractor, it's a different scale. You would be starting out at $20.19 an hour. So there's quite a difference in our residential and commercial scale. But again, most of our opportunities are in the residential industry right now.
Okay. And then I think just one other question. In light of our current environment, students have been learning virtually this semester. They return to us in January. And I guess this is for any of our guests. They're just wondering if you have any advice on things they can be doing, I guess, at home to kind of make up for the time they've lost in their shops.
That's a great question. It caught me in left field. In our industry, one of the biggest things is reading a tape measure. So you could hone your skills on reading a tape measure. I mentioned earlier we're best associated with hammers, but the truth is we all carry hammers still, but we use guns to do most of the nailing. We should be more associated with a tape measure. That's our tool that day in and day out, you're going to have to be able to read and just like breathing. It should just come second nature to you. So brush up on that just stay in good shape and try to get outdoors a little bit and see how you like being outside. Hang out outside a little bit more, hang out in the cold a little bit, hang out in the heat a little bit. So that'd be my advice.
Ronnie or Ed, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think it was said best. I would say, as far as the skill set goes, the hammers, the tape measures, and the technology, just remember one day that stuff may not work, kind of like this Zoom meeting, and you have to
Okay. And then we do have one more question. Craig, you alluded to some residential being really, really booming right now in the construction field. One of the students is asking if you could differentiate between residential and commercial construction.
Well, residential in general is dwellings that people live in. It could be a one family resident. It could be a apartment building or condos. But basically, if it's a building that people live in, that's associated with residential. And then under residential auspice, you have the different things that you can do: exterior finishes, interior finishes, framing, etc. Commercial, on the other hand, is a really diverse industry. Basically, in general, if it's a structure of some kind, it takes somebody to build that. A bridge is a structure. There's all kinds of tradesmen that work on a bridge. From carpenters to laborers to finishers to operating engineers to iron workers. Your commercial buildings, typically, instead of being framed out of wood, they're almost always going to be framed out of steel. So the wall framing members that maybe the drywall goes to, it's going to look the same in general, but it's going to be different material. So a lot of times commercial work is just a different tool, a different material, but it's more toward buildings for commercial use. Like it may be a restaurant, a grocery store, a place of work, an office building, a hospital, a bridge, places that people don't live typically.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that explanation. Okay, I think that's about it. Craig, thank you. And I think we are ready for Ronnie to start talking to us about the laborers.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ronnie Griffin again. I don't know if I've been dropping out here lately, so I hope I get to stay on throughout the presentation. I'm a construction craft laborer. I've been so for 48 years. I started out working in the mining industry, which laborers cover a wide variety of different job skill tasks. Worked 32 years in the field for a single
Looks like we might have lost a connection there.
Okay, let's just give him a few seconds and see if he pops back on. And if he's unable to, Ed, we might go ahead and start with the sheet metal workers. Let's just see if Ronnie's able to jump back on. Is that okay with you, Ms. Bengali? Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Ronnie.
Am I here?
You are. We hear you. We don't see you. Okay. Okay. So, Ms. Bengali, should we move on to Ed and just hope Ronnie's able to come back on?
Yeah, I think so.
Sound? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ed, if you're ready, we are ready to hear about the sheet metal workers.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm Ed Hoganson. I'm the Director of Marketing, Recruiting, and Organizing for the Sheet Metal Workers Union, Local 36. Before I start, I'd like to point you to our resource. We've spent a lot of time working on our website, launched a new website this spring, sheetmetal36.org. And on there, it's full of videos and information about the apprenticeship program. Just about everything you ever need at your fingertips. So before I get into that, Heidi, I'd like to start my presentation with our recruiting video. This is our actual school and actual apprentices that are in the school. So it gives you an idea what it would be like a day in the life of our training school. So take it away, Heidi.
Okay. I assume I'm back.
Not that long ago, the ticket to a good job was a degree from a 2- or 4-year college program. But with tuition skyrocketing and employment opportunities shrinking, the American job market has become much more challenging. Today, securing a good, well-paying job requires the hands-on skills and technical training that can take you to the top of your field. And the International Training Institute for the Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Industry gives you the tools to do exactly that. At 160 unionized state-of-the-art training centers across the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada, you will attend small, personalized classes, participate in labs, and receive on-the-job training in 4 to 5 year programs in your choice of 9 different rewarding career paths. And it gets better. Not only will you receive the very best possible education and training you need to succeed, as an apprentice, you will earn up to $20 an hour plus benefits while you learn, up to $50 an hour plus benefits as a journeyman, and best of all, you'll graduate with no tuition debt. 0. The International Training Institute's programs provide rigorous, cutting-edge curriculum for serious students who have a strong aptitude for math, problem-solving, mechanical and computer skills, and spatial relationships. And yes, it gets even better. When you graduate, there are jobs waiting for you. Thousands of them, all over the country, with more on the horizon. And the International Training Institute offers 100% placement. North America needs skilled workers to keep her strong, proud, capable, professional. Become one of them. Learn well. Learn smart. Contact the International Training Institute for information on how you can get started today. Higher education at the International Training Institute for the Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Industry. There's no limit to how high you can go. SMART. Sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation. Expertise since 1888.
All right, thanks, Heidi. So just like the other 19 or so building trades, we're not a one-trick pony. We do a lot of different things. We have over 90 contractors, and they don't all do the same thing. So we have to train for each one of those contractors in each specific segment of that industry. We use the term career path because not every apprenticeship or every apprentice gets the same training as they come down to our training school. We develop training specific to them that's going to put them on their career path to succeed. So as you were watching the video, you saw different career paths. Obviously, Mr. Beck and Mr. Adams, they focus on our residential commercial service path, which, we have, quite a few apprentices doing that. But we have to cover the other aspects of the industry. So, for example, you would take a lot of our work has got to do HVAC wise, and we're known for our ductwork and our large commercial buildings. But when you think about that, you can look in your residential buildings. Think of your house, all right? Look in your basement, see the ductwork in your basement, the outside condensing unit that would sit outside your house. But we do more than that. We put the gutters on your house. We put the bathroom fans in your house. We put the exhaust in your house for your dryer vent. We'll put the hood that's above your stove. We'll put flashing and chin caps. We put in fireplaces. We do so much other things other than HVAC. And that was just residential. As far as commercial goes, our definition of commercial, we have schools, we have office buildings, hospitals, a new soccer stadium, lots of things that are commercial, and both residential and commercial for us right now are doing very well. We also do architectural metal, all right? We skin buildings. We'll either skin them with metal or some other product. When you think of buildings that we skin, think of the IKEA building, which has, we wrap that with blue and yellow paneling. Not only that, we put all the HVAC on the inside of that. Think of the airport, has the copper roof on the airport, the dome on the Science Center. You go to Home Depot, you see that orange hood on the entrance, any of that is architectural type metal. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of industrial metal, our industrial installations. So Mallinckrodt, Anheuser-Busch, General Motors, Boeing. We could put in paint booths and different things that move not just air through ductwork, but it could be anywhere from sawdust to dog food. So power plant work, we do a lot of that. Kitchen equipment. You go into any commercial, all these restaurants, you see all that stainless steel kitchen equipment and hoods and walk-in coolers, prep stations. Go to the baseball game or something, and you're going to go order a hot dog or something. All that stainless steel that you see behind that they all work for their product, that's all put in by the sheet metal workers. Another thing is when you get into your schools, look up and down the hallways, and you'll see all the lockers. We put all those lockers in. Think about going into a commercial bathroom, the toilet stalls and partitions, we put all of that in. So depending on what contractor is hiring a apprentice would depend on your career path, so to speak. But you cross train, you can move into other things. As you get into your career and through your apprenticeship and into your journeyman years, you can choose your own destiny, your own career paths. We have no seniority. You're retained on what you know and how productive you are, and you're more marketable with the more skill set that you have, and nobody can take that away from you. So you find something you like, you focus on that, and put your heart and soul into it. So like I said, go to our website, find out more about all the different types of programs we have. We have a video on just about every career path on there. But things that you need to know when you're applying, things you need to work on as a high school student right now. And believe me, when I was in high school, I didn't even know what a sheet metal worker was. I think I wanted to do auto body. And then after that, I think I wanted to be an electrician, and somehow I found my way into the sheet metal workers, which has been a great career for me. But things you could work on, your grades, when you do your application for us, we ask for any transcripts from high school, and maybe you went to a tech school or something after high school or college. We want all those grades because we give you points. We're on a point system depending on what you bring us. It will depend on how soon you would be hired. So, we give 1 point for an A, 3/4 for a B, 1/2 point for a C, but we only look at specific subjects. And the fact that you're at South Tech, you are taking those subjects, or you have taken those subjects that we care about, which would be shop classes, or they would be math classes, things like that. Another thing that you have to keep in mind, and it's with all the building trades, is we drug test. All right. And you'll be drug tested when offered the actual opportunity for a job. You won't get the job until you pass the drug test. And then you'll be tested for the entire rest of your career. Another thing to work on is a clean driving record. Okay. As a apprentice or a journeyman, a lot of times you are driving a company truck. And if you have a bad driving record, you'll be deemed that you're uninsurable, and you will not be able to do that aspect of the work, or maybe not even get hired. And the number one thing that you have to work on is being to work on time. You know where you live, but you'll be working all over the St. Louis area. You don't know where that might be from day to day or month to month. And you're going to have to go to bed at different times. You're going to have to wake up at different times. You're going to have to figure in traffic. You're going to have to make it to a job 5 days a week on time for, your entire career. We have a saying, if you're not early, you're late. So you always plan to be early. And if you're not as early as you want to be, then I guess you were late. So there's like no excuses. Nobody puts up with that kind of stuff. The other thing is it's tough work. Okay. It's construction. All of these trades are construction. It's hot in the summer. It's cold in the winter. You're going to, get calluses on your hands. You're going to come home tired and dirty. And, as you get older, it's going to feel even more intense on you. So I guess in conclusion, I don't just want to, expose you to just the sheet metal workers. You know, there are 19 total construction trades. So what I'm going to do now is if I can figure out this Zoom stuff, I'm going to share my screen and take you to, this is a great resource that you might not know about, but this is a website. It's called St. Louis Construction Cooperative.org. And on there, it's all of the different building trades got together. And this is where you can find out about the trades. You can find about contractors and other industry entities. But I take you to the page here where this is a career in construction book. And if you go through here, you can see all the trades here, from boilermaker to bricklayer to carpenter, all the way up to sheet metal worker, pipe fitter, or electrician. So if you want to know more about any of the other trades, this is a great asset that you can go and see. So that pretty much concludes what I'd like to tell you about the sheet metal workers. So if you have any questions, feel free.
Thanks, Ed. That was great. And I think that booklet was just updated, but I'm really glad that you shared that with the students. We do have several questions. One is, can you tell us how long your training programs are? So I guess the apprenticeship programs.
The majority of our apprenticeship programs, which we call sheet metal, are 10,000 hours. It takes approximately 5 years to get through that. Starting pay for that is $20.33 an hour. We also have this residential light commercial service program, of which that program is only 8,000 hours, but it requires that you went through tech school, a reputable tech school, you know, which South County and North County Tech are reputable HVAC tech schools. So we give 2,000 hours of credit for that toward the apprenticeship program. So that one takes about 4 years to get through.
Okay. One of the students is asking about benefits. And so if you, Craig, you too, I mean, Ed, if you want to start, talk a little bit about the benefits of being in your program.
Benefits as far as like over and above pay benefits. One thing about the benefits is that is one of the main things that a union has to offer a workforce that is quite appealing to their workers. And depending on your age, you know, when you're young and starting out, you're really interested in how much you're going to make on your check. All right. As you get older, you start thinking, you know, you're in your 20s, maybe you get married and thinking about insurance. And we're talking family health insurance, not just for you. And then as you start getting a little bit older in your 30s, now you're thinking about retirement. So the great thing about benefits is they start accruing or growing after you start in your trade. So what we have as far as healthcare, it's family healthcare for everyone in the family. We also have a 401k and 2 pension programs. So that's the majority of the benefits that we offer. We have a lot of other things like health savings, retirement accounts, and stuff like that. But I know when you're in high school, you don't think about that. Right now, you're thinking about what's on the check. But you come to appreciate that. And all the trades, that's their selling point. The other thing about benefits is if you move from one company to another, they're portable. So you don't miss a lick. You continue with your pension contributions, you continue with your health care and such. So, I mean, that is security for you and your family. And that's something that only unions can offer.
Interesting. Craig, is your benefit package similar to the sheet metal workers?
Yeah, very similar. You know, our goal is to reach 500 hours as a new apprentice. When an apprentice reaches 500 hours worked on the job, they have full health insurance for them and their family. So that's one reason why a lot of people in their mid 20s, early 30s come and get into the trade, is because of the benefits, like Ed said. So, you know, the work is the same out there, folks. When you're an hourly paid construction worker, you know, it's all about time and production and getting stuff done. It's still hot, it's still cold, it's still dirty, it's still dangerous. But typically with apprenticeships and unions, the difference is the work's still the same. The conditions sometimes are still the same, but the benefits is where we just surpass everything. So if you're going to put yourself out there and do this type of work, most people that get in it agree that being affiliated with a union is the right place to be.
Okay, thank you. A couple questions regarding women in construction. Are you seeing more women entering the field? And then are the opportunities for women the same as they are for men?
I'll go first on that. Yes, I'll tell you, I've seen more women get into our trade this past year and a half than ever before. And it's fantastic. And not only that, they're getting in the residential industry, which historically didn't hire a lot of women. They didn't have to, and they just didn't. And that trend has been broken. A lot of the girls now that are in our trade are working for residential contractors, doing various different things, and they finally got over that, broke that barrier, and so I would love to see more women get into the trade. Quite honestly, I think there's some great opportunities for women out there.
As far as women in the trade, yes, we're actively recruiting women in the trade. One resource that you can go to is called Missouri Women in the Trade, MOWIT, MOWIT.org. And all the trades, there are women in each one of the trades that are part of that organization, and their whole mission is to reach out and promote getting more women into the trade. So you could check out that website. But some trades, women find more appealing than other trades, but we have our fair share of women in the sheet metal workers.
Okay, and then Ed, one question regarding the actual sheet metal, asking, is the job to create the sheet metal, or is it more like working with the sheet metal?
Let me expand on that real quick, if you don't mind. I believe what he's asking is, does the person who creates the sheet metal also the one that installs the sheet metal? Or is it, I only make it or I only install it?
Thank you.
That is quite specific to whatever contractor you work for. The smaller contractor, you're more of a jack of all trades. The larger mechanical contractor, you may be more of a segment of it, because large contractors could have large shops. They're almost like production factories. And then, a residential contractor, you may show up in a box truck with some flat metal and a brake and things, where you run into a house, measure it, run out, bend it up, and then run back in and install it. So typically we try to train for whatever aspect of the trade is, but to answer your question, it would be more contractor specific, but everybody pretty much learns the basic skill set as far as fabrication techniques and layout techniques as far as making sheet metal. We either create a geometric shape or we skin some shape that somebody has with sheet metal.
Okay, and then do both training programs accept students straight from high school?
Yes, we do. To get into the Carpenters apprenticeship program, you don't have to have a high school diploma or a GED out of the gate, but you do have to produce one within a year. So if you didn't finish high school, you could come in with a GED. If you didn't do a GED, we even have what we call a third way option, which is a series of work keys tests. If you score certain scores on 4 different work keys assessments, then we'll accept that in lieu of a GED. So yeah, you can get started right out of high school.
The short answer is yes. With our apprentice standards with the Department of Labor, the bare minimum requirements would be 18 years old with a high school diploma or a GED. But the way we're set up as far as ranking people on the application list is, like I said, what you bring to us. So you're competing with other, people that have some experience or some higher education. However, that South Tech is set up as a tech school. We don't count that any different than as if you were going to Rankin. Now, somebody that went to South Tech and then went to Rankin or Jefferson College or American Trade School or one of those schools, which are great schools, and we recruit from them too. That all adds to your job experience and your knowledge.
Okay. One student's asking where the sheet metal facility is located.
We're at 2319 Shoto. You can see it on our website, and it's on the corner of Shoto and Jefferson in St. Louis. We're real close to downtown St. Louis.
And maybe if one of our instructors wants to explain just briefly how an apprenticeship works. The student is asking if you're working full-time while you're doing this. I don't know if any of you want to kind of explain how that works.
I'll let the representatives kind of explain that, because things may have changed since I've been in it. So
with the Carpenters and such, the contractor will hire you. You'll go to work for them for approximately 3 months out in the field, and then you'll be getting an invite to come into school. And you'll come into school for 4 days in our case, and then you'll go back to work, hopefully, for the contractor. So most of your time is spent in the field working on the job with a contractor. That's where 11 months out of 12 is spent in your apprenticeship every year, is working, making money, learning the trade. So, you know, it's way more work than it is school, but it's a combination of both.
With the Department of Labor, just like with all the other locals or unions, it's 160 hours of training in the school a year. So it's basically 1 week out of every quarter, which is 4 times a year. When you come down to school, you're actually going to work. So on Monday, you come dressed for work, and on Friday, you get a paycheck from the training school for whatever amount that you're making at the contractor. So as you go through school, you would make more money as a third or fourth year apprentice as if you were just starting out. So yeah, it's about 700 hours or so of schooling of the 10,000 hours that are a total apprenticeship program.
Okay, and Ed, could you repeat what the starting pay is for an apprentice in your program?
I believe it's $20.33 an hour.
I think that's what you said. Okay. And then I think a final question, unless the instructors have any other questions. Would you say that apprenticeship at the school would be more intense than, I guess, just working on a job site? So is there a lot more involved because you're an apprentice as opposed to just working in a non-union position?
Me first. Yeah. I mean, the school is well dialed in. Almost every minute is accounted for. You get some breaks and lunch, obviously, but it's a work-do environment. You're going to be in the class. You want in the classroom all day. You'll learn something, you'll go out and do it. You'll learn another thing, you go out and do it. At the end of the week, it's just like being in any other school. You're going to have grades. You're going to have projects that you have made. They're going to be graded. You're going to have instructors doing evaluations on you. It's pretty intense, because when you're paying somebody to go to school, they're expected to work and work as hard as they can. Is the same as if they were out in the field. So. Craig,
do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I agree with most of that. The thing that's different about when they come into school than a job site, though, is it's not about how much you get done. It's about why you do it, how you do it, and that you do it right. So it knocks the pressure down of having to, grasp something very quickly and get something done because you're in a training situation. So that's a plus to the school side. But yeah, as Ed said, when you're involved in the apprenticeship, which is typically affiliated with unions, it is going to be a little more intense because, for some people that's been away from school for a long time, they're going to come in and all of a sudden they got homework, they got tests, they got finals they got to get over, and they've got to be competent at what they do when they're in school. So it's not a difficult thing to get through, but it's not just a give me neither. Everything that you do is graded, and it has to be done to a certain percentage in order for us to deem that you're competent at that. So I guess it is a little more intense than if you didn't have to go to school, but then again, coming into school, it's a little different world than it is actually working out in the field, because it's about learning. It's not about how fast you get something done.
Okay, what about our instructors? Do you have any questions for our guests?
One thing I will say, and this is more for the students, is that all of the trades, all the building trades make fantastic wages. Don't base your career on starting salary, okay? We all make good money out in the field, and I would much rather enjoy what I do and maybe make $1 or $2 less an hour than make a couple dollars more and hate what I do every day. Find that passion, find what you want to do, find what, when you wake up in the morning, you're ready and excited to go to work instead of dreading it. And that makes a huge difference in your career and how you progress through it. So that's really just what I wanted to say, is find that passion, not the money.
Yeah, that's a great point. I would second that wholeheartedly. I don't know where you're going to go nowadays and have the possibility of making $40 an hour plus benefits, all the benefits that go with it, for a high school diploma. I don't know where that exists. We get it because we work hard, and not everybody's meant to do this. So if you're willing to put yourself out there and do the type of work we do in the construction industry, it is very rewarding in 4 to 5 to 6 years, depending on how long your apprenticeship takes. So that's an excellent point. Thank you.
Hey, Craig, if you would, I know the Carpenters have the new health center. So if you can speak on that, that's one of the benefits that come along with being a union carpenter. If you can talk about that a little bit.
I will. I'll proudly talk about that. The Carpenters Union Hall is basically over by the zoo on Hampton. It's at 1401 Hampton. That's where the Union Hall is. And behind the Union Hall, they put in a Carpenters Wellness Center. And inside this wellness center is doctors, nurses, dentists, a vision center, physical therapy, massage therapy, psychological counseling. What am I missing? Pharmacy. And when they started talking about this, I kind of curled my nose up. I thought, I can't imagine this being all it's being cracked up to being. But I've been there several times now. I dropped my primary physician and went with the physicians there after going there a couple times. I was so impressed with them. They have went above and beyond what I expected. You can virtually walk in there, see a doctor, turn right around, walk out of the doctor's office, go across the hall and get a prescription filled or two, and virtually not reach in your pocket for anything. It's free for the members and their families. So just an amazing benefit that I hope more and more people get to take advantage of. But thanks for bringing it up, Byron. I tell you, it's amazing. And, I tell guys this all the time. Yeah, this is what you're going to be entitled to here shortly. Just stick with it, because when you go there and your whole family goes there, and a couple of them get their teeth worked on, or a couple of them get glasses, and you virtually have nothing out of pocket, it's an amazing benefit. And it is a quite amazing facility and physicians and people that work there. So thank you.
Wow. Any other instructor comments, questions? Okay, well, I'm surely disappointed that Ronnie was unable to join us. I'm sad that he had technical problems, but maybe he can share the information directly with the instructors. And so I will be in touch with him about that.
I do have one question. Oh, I'm sorry, Sally. For Ed, one of my students would like to know, what's the typical working hours for a sheet metal worker?
Ed, you're muted.
It can range a little bit different with the contractors depending on summer months and things like that, but it's an 8-hour workday. Typically they'll start at 7 or 7:30. And you get a half hour for lunch.
Awesome.
Okay. I think that probably is all we can fit into this session today. I want to thank Ed and I want to thank Craig for joining us, and Ronnie too, and to all of our instructors and students who joined us. So yeah, everyone have a good evening, and we appreciate you being here. This concludes our session. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you.